Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Killshot here, and today we're going to be going over the Savage A17 chambered in 17 HMR. Now this rifle is very rare as it's very hard for companies to develop a semi-automatic 17 HMR rifle due to the issues when cycling. So Savage managed to make this possible by adding a delayed blowback action which properly cycles the 17 HMR reliably and safely, as a lot of pressure is built up from this Magnum cartridge being a rimfire. So let's go over the rifle very briefly and what it is. So this is the 17 HMR A17, and this is the heavy barrel edition. It's a heavy barrel target barrel, and it also comes straight from factory with a wood stock. I believe this is a Boyds stock. And on the front of the stock here, you can see some engraving saying 17A series. Two swing swivel studs, one in the back here, one in the front. Now we only have one, so you have to choose between either a bipod or a sling mount. And then on the back of the stock here, we do have a recoil pad. It's very nice rubber. The recoil on this gun is a bit heavier than a 22 LR, but it's not significant enough to need a recoil pad in my opinion. But it's very nice to have. On the top of the gun here, we do not have a full rail. Instead, we do have two mounts here. They're two separate mounts. I did have some issues with these mounts coming loose, so straight from factory, there's no Loctite or anything. And with the recoil being a bit heavier than 22 LR, it would cause these two mounts here to come a bit loose. So what I did is I got a proper Allen key, I put it in there and I really cranked it. I did not use Loctite or anything like that. And ever since doing that, I've had no issues with these mounts coming loose here, and they're being very good. Now I did buy a 17 HMR A series rail, but after looking at it, the screws do not align with the holes, so I'm not too sure I'm going to do with that. But since this started working on its own, I just left it there and had no issues in that sense. The barrel itself is a heavy barrel and it is free floating. Now this barrel is very good, very accurate, and I'm very glad that I opted out for this version instead of the regular version. So this gun can be had in a few different configurations straight from factory. So there's this one, which is the heavy barrel with the wooden stock. Besides that, you can get the wooden stock without the heavy barrel. And besides that, you can get the plastic polymer stock with the regular non-heavy barrel as well. The price difference for this was about $100 more than the one in the wood stock without the heavy barrel. So I thought I might as well just get it, and I'm very happy with that decision and that purchase. Moving further down here, we do have an active trigger and a regular safety. So I thought the safety was on, so I really shouldn't dry fire this. But that's the active trigger right there. Safety is engaged, works very good. For those who are not familiar with these kind of triggers, Savage is the one that started these triggers and made them popular. Other companies do copy them, such as Ruger. I really like them because you know exactly when the trigger is about to engage after you do push that blade in there. And I'm a huge fan of our Savage active triggers all in all. They are adjustable, but I've not found the need to do that, and it's a very good trigger in my opinion so far. The trigger guard here is polymer, but that's not a big deal. And over here I do have a cheap eBay bipod or Amazon bipod, Harris style knockoff, no swivel. I'll be replacing this shortly. And on top here we do have a Bushnell AR scope. So this one goes up to 18 magnification from 4.5. Being a 17 HMR, I was planning to shoot this rifle a bit further than regular rimfire, so I wanted a bit more magnification. 18 times magnification works very good up to about 200 yards I find. Being a 17 HMR, the bullet holes are very small, so if you're shooting paper, shooting C targets is a must in my opinion, otherwise it's very hard to see your hits. Pretty much covers the rifle, so if you want to take this rifle down and clean it, there's a YouTuber named Such who does a very good job breaking down this rifle. So in session what you have to do is just take this back part here off, everything comes out, and then you can clean it from the back that way. Very good, very easy to clean. Me personally, I've not cleaned this gun yet, but I've had no reason to so far. It doesn't get too dirty. Well, I mean it does, but not as dirty as other 22 LR rifles I have found. Obviously that also does play a part when it comes to ammunition. Some ammo is more dirty than others, but I've not found this rifle to be too dirty as opposed to certain rimfire 22 LR rifles that I have owned in the past. Pretty much covers most of the rifle. And now we can talk about the Butler Creek magazines. So these Butler Creek magazines, at least with the wooden stock, are not too compatible. I have watched videos of people using these with the polymer stock with no issues at all. But with the wooden stock here, what happens is they tend to fall down and it's very hard to secure them. I am guessing it's just the stock because I don't understand why other people don't have the same problems. Looking at forums and that kind of stuff, I do not see too many people having issues with these magazines. but they're very tricky to put in. Even the regular factory magazine that it comes with, there's a bit of a trick to it. You have to do it a bit of an angle. So putting the gun in there, you have to kind of go with the back first and then push it forward. Like I said, it is very tricky here, so you gotta hear a click. No click so far. And then there you kind of have a click. So one of these magazines works better than the others, so I had to buy two of them because the first one just didn't work at all. But even, I'm not too sure which one this one is, but this front tab here has to be pushed in there to secure it, and that seems to be the problem when it comes to the wooden stock. So right there, it is put in there, but if I just go like that, it'll just come off very easily, so I think that's the bad one. So let's try this other one here. So now that's in there, push the tab forward. And you'll see in the video when firing, it might stay for about 4 or 5 rounds, but then it'll fall down. So this one is probably the good one, but it's still not too secure. And I found out what you want to do is pop the magazine in there. And then take a spent casing. 22 LR works very good in this case. And then you just kind of push it in there to hold the tab in place. And once you do that, it secures it very well. And now that does kind of make it, you know, a bit inconvenient to spend the money on a magazine and have to do that. But it's not that big a deal in my opinion. You can do that very quickly. And once you do that, you're good to go. No issues there. So we'll try that with the second magazine. So I'm pretty sure this is the one that works better than the other one. And you can see it just falls out like that. Second Butler Creek magazine, that doesn't work too good. Yeah, this one is the one that just sucks. Very annoying in my opinion. Not in my opinion, it's just very annoying. So now we got that in there, and then we'll put the spent casing over here. Put that on there. And you can see there we have it. It's a fix. Not the most ideal, but it is a fix. So if you buy this gun with the wooden stock, something to consider. Maybe you just want to go and buy the other 10-round magazines and just save yourself the hassle. But having a 25-rounder, you know, in this gun, it's very fun, first of all. And you have to reload less. So, you know, that's 50 rounds right there. Very fun. So one thing about this barrel too, it is free floating, but it gets extremely hot, like super duper hot. So when you're firing this gun, you know, if you do like 20 shots in a row, be very wary of the barrel here. I'm not too sure if the heat will affect the accuracy of the barrel. I mean, over time, and ruin it, I mean. Obviously, if you're shooting consistently, your grooves will open up when the barrel is hot. But I'm not too sure if you can permanently damage the barrel when it gets too hot, so it's something to be mindful of. And be cautious when shooting this gun very rapidly. So if you're doing a 25-round mag, I would just stop and let it chill and let it cool down. So the first time I ever did a mag dump on this, I was having so much fun. I did a mag dump and I literally burnt my hand on the barrel here. So be very careful when doing that. Besides that, the cycling of this gun is honestly extraordinary. It's honestly more reliable than other 22 LR semi-automatics I've had. The one thing though is it sometimes does jam with 17 grain bullets when it's a bit dirty here. So like I said, I've never cleaned this, so I've been noticing that, you know, maybe once every 5 magazines, 10-round magazines I mean, you will get a bit of a jam with 17 grainers, and it just turns into a bolt action, so it'll fire about 1 cycle. Then you gotta pull it out, eject, and then fire again. I've not had any malfunctions with 20 grain bullets. The 17 HMR comes in 17 grain bullets and 20 grain bullets, and I wanted to see what kind of grain bullets would work better in this gun. Anyways, that pretty much covers it for this part. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the groups were enjoyable and you got some information out of it. Feel free to comment down below if you have any questions. Take care and happy shooting.